good a real estate salesman. No, it doesn't have anything to do with the money. It's just that our plans have changed. And we're going to remain here over the summer.
You mean you just changed your mind?
Yeah, it's a woman's prerogative, yes. So, do you think you could find us something temporary?
I've got a list here. The Robinson House on Elm.
On Elm.
And the Carson House.
Oh, yes, the Carson House. That's on Seabury Lane, isn't it? Well, do you think they would be willing to rent for just 2 or 3 months?
Such a short period of time.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Could we talk about
yes.
this at 10:30 tomorrow in my office?
In your office in the morning at 10:30? Oh, thank you, Mr. Baker. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Russell.
Yes?
The name is Joe Rossi. You see, I'm in this contest to win a scholarship to college. And you can vote for me by looking over this list of magazines that you're probably taking anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. As you can see, we're in the midst of moving, so you'll have to excuse us.
Is Carolyn home? Your daughter?
Well, I don't think she'd be interested.
Oh, the subscription bit, I was just putting you on.
Oh?
See, this is strictly a social call. Would you tell Carolyn that she's got company?
Oh, well, yes. Well, won't you come here?
Thank you.
It was,
Joe,
wasn't it? Yes.
Joe Rossi. You probably know my brother, Dr. Michael Rossi, at the hospital.
Yes, I've heard of him. Well, I'm sorry this is such a mess, but...
But you're in the midst of moving.
Yes. You really had me fooled.
Well, I got some talent, but you see, it isn't always appreciated.
Well, I'll go and call Carolyn. She didn't tell me that she was expecting you.
She isn't.
Well, let me get this straight. Do you or do you not have a date with my daughter?
Is it important?
Yes.
Well, let's say I do. Look, Mrs. Russell, I'm not just a kid standing here with a corsage and a box of candy. Don't put me through the routine, please.
Where were you planning to take Carolyn?
Just down.
Just out?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. Well, I'm sorry I didn't knock. There's quite a character waiting downstairs for you. That could be most anybody. He claims he's Dr. Rossi's brother.
Joe! Yeah, he drives Dr. Rossi's car. I guess it's true.
Oh, you rushed off and you got into his car the day we were talking in the park.
Right.
Who introduced you to him?
No one. Joe and I just got to talking, and he asked me if I'd like to go for a hot dog.
And you just went into his car and...
Should I have stopped to ask for permission?
Well, frankly, I'm a little surprised. I mean, well, usually you're so particular about the boys you date.
It wasn't a date. We just went for a hot dog. It was no big thing. Actually, I never expected to see him again.
Well, in that case, I don't know what we're arguing about. I'll just go downstairs and find some excuse. Or maybe I should be frank. I'll just tell him.
That he doesn't measure up to my mother's standards? Is that what you're going to say?
That's right.
Well, what is it you don't like about him? His manners?
Well, they can be improved upon.
Well, if you think that because a boy is polite to a girl's parents that one can, quote, trust him to behave himself, unquote.
Well, I think I'm a little better judge of young men than you're giving me credit for.
Well, if you were, a couple of the young men that I have dated, with your full approval, might have had the door slammed right in their faces.
Well, Carolyn, it isn't, that I trust. I don't trust the boys that you go out with. I trust you, as long as I have faith in your good judgment.
I can go out with whomever I like, except for Joe Rossi.
What can you possibly see in him? He's very rude.
I think he's cool. Joe is different. It has a lot to do with the fact, probably, that he's been brought up in the big city.
Is that his attraction?
It's like knowing someone from another world.
And you were the one who couldn't bear to leave Peyton Place, my small-town daughter who was so afraid to find new friends in the big city. Is this Joe Rossi the reason you were so anxious to stay here? All right. You're not going to go out with him.
I am going to go out with him. Unless you forbid me. Unless you absolutely forbid me. We can let Daddy decide. I can call him.
You do as you like.
Joe?
Yeah?
Don't get impatient. I'll be right down.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Take me home, Joe.
You know, you're gonna come up with a corny line like that. I'm just gonna have to say we just got here.
I mean it.
I can see what a problem this is to you, but that's why I'm here.
I'm sorry, Miss Russell.
Doctor, I came to you because I'm desperate.
I gotta know where to send the money for Kelly.
Out.
You wouldn't want to miss those weekly checks, would you, Mommy?
Let go of that.